Okay, so in our last video, I just want to talk about Henry Cartier-Bresson, which is actually, here's an old picture of him right here, this guy. And we're going to talk about him next week as well. But again, he really, mastered this medium of handheld photography. Okay, so when cameras were first invented, and why is that so pixelated? Come on, let's look at this one. It's a beautiful one. Again, frame within a frame. Oh my God, he did it. All right, making me think of leading lines, depth. When photography was first invented, the cameras were really like these big, bulky um, things, and it took a while for them to get smaller. All right, so let me look up 4x5, 4x5 camera. There we go. They were kind of like this kind of thing. All right, so you'd put this, like that, and that's not really a spot, a device that's, is really for like spontaneity, right? Like something's happening, you'd have to set that up, have to get it's like takes a long time. So cameras slowly got smaller till they could fit in your hand, okay? And Bresson like really embraced that ability to walk around and to make images of people and places that, you know, were about this idea of a decisive moment, you know, the unsuspecting, subject. So here is some great, and again, you can look at these, and again, like here you think like, well, he's probably getting down, he's looking up, and he was very quick at taking photos. He was like, you know, he would do it in a way so like no one knew he was there doing it. So again, you can think about this as like pattern, all right? And it's like leading us through this other great one. Again, the decisive moment. Here, he just steps out of this stairwell and this bike is zipping by, creating this space here. Leading lines bringing us down. Pattern. This is a great one here. Again, like getting, and he traveled the world taking photographs. Here we go. People sleeping in the park. This is a great one too. All right, frame within a frame. Look at that. All right, it's kind of a famous one. This guy mid-stride. You could think about this as light. That beautiful reflection. Oh, look at this. They're showing. That's funny. Breaking down the composition. There's this triangle, rule of thirds. Look at that. That's funny. That's another great one. Leading lines, pattern, symmetry. Where rule of thirds, here she is, like on that third line. Okay. So, people are always like, well, was he really thinking of, of course he was, but it takes practice. This is like one of the most famous ones. He studied this and mastered it. There's a reason he's considered, legend, or, whatever. But this is where this medium was honed, or this is who, and this is why we're thinking about these things. Okay? So Bresson came up with that term, the decisive moment. And again, we'll look at him again next week. And we'll talk about him and we'll gradually get more contemporary. But you got to start somewhere. So we're going to start with Bresson. All right? If you like him, look him up. Here's his name right here. Okay, and look at his images. It's important to look at a lot of photography. Sorry, having a hard time speaking today. Because you can learn from it. All right, just like any art form, it's good to look at who did what before you.